Yeah, so our topic is inspiring you to celebrate you.
Mhm.
What does that mean, Moira?
So it means
I
to me.
love the topic. I love the topic. Okay, carry on.
Deb likes to celebrate Deb, which is an awesome thing. So to me, this has got a lot to do with confidence.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello, hello, hello. That sounds random. Hi. This is Debz and Moira with our deliciously motivated mindset. I've got to say it right with my accent, not that I have an accent.
No, you don't have an accent.
Today's a goodie. Oh my gosh.
Of course.
I know.
It's always a goodie.
It's always a goodie. Thank you for joining us, listeners. And just as important, thank you for joining us, Moira, because it would just be Debz and with the deliciously.
It would just be the deliciously mindset. Yes.
Yeah, I can pull that off, I'm sure. But no, it's great to have the DM in there. That would be weird having to do it on my own. Anyway, enough about that. I'll stop going off on a tangent already. So, yes, not even a minute into it, Deborah's gone on a tangent. So let me hit our regular topic of what we actually start talking about. First, before we do anything, if you're a regular listener, if you're a newbie, whatever, we rate ourselves. And we rate ourselves a number from 0 to 10. And we find this is quite significant for us to look at our own mindset to see if we've shifted. And also throughout the day, if you feel like doing it, if you've got a heavy day going, rate yourself in the morning when you wake up, rate yourself after breakfast. Just be aware of your emotions and what's going on around you, because it's just another level of learning and inspiration, really, to celebrate you. So without going into anything further about our rating, 0 being 0, you're completely at ease with everything. Nothing's there's no pin coming in to pop your bubble. And pin, that's PIN. And number 10 is you are stuck and can't even see, even just saying you're a 10 can take you to another level of a 10. So, Moira, where would you be on a scale of 0 to 10 right now?
I think I'm going to say I'm a 0. I loved our topic, and maybe I'm going to say I'm 0.5. Because I always like to create a wee bit of space for
you're a 0.
Happen?
We know you're a 0.
You're a 0. I kind of operate there a lot.
I'm going to say I'm a 1 because I do have 2 dogs that are more active in this last 5 minutes than they have been. So I'm going to say a 1 just because I might be hitting the mute more often than I normally would. Like, I don't. So I'm going to say I'm a 1. You're definitely a 0. So listeners, let us know where you're at when you start this. It would be super awesome. So
Absolutely.
our topic,
it's a goodie.
Yeah, so our topic is inspiring you to celebrate you.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, Moira?
So it means
I
to me.
love the topic. I love the topic. Okay, carry on.
Deb likes to celebrate Deb, which is
Yeah.
an awesome thing. So to me, this has got a lot to do with confidence. It's about saying, you know who you are, you know what you're good at, you know where your genius is, and you appreciate the opportunity to shift, to share and shift through whatever it is you're experiencing and share your brilliance, to shine your sparkling essence to the collective and share it to being of service, right? So it's about, I can think of times when I was growing up, my dad would be, it's like the idea of don't get too full of yourself. People used to say
I
that.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't get
They
too
used to
full of
say that in
yourself.
yeah, don't get yourself a big head. You'll never get through the
Yeah,
door.
exactly. Those
And I
kind of
think-
things.
So we
Yeah.
have them in New Zealand. We have those sayings in New Zealand as well.
Okay, good. Well, maybe not so good. But the thing is that can sometimes, we can hold on to those kind of concepts or mindsets and then go, oh gosh, I'm not allowed to toot my own horn because I don't want to get a swelled head or come over egotistical. But what's wrong with you claiming ownership for the things that you know you're good at? I think when it's done confidently and, somebody says, oh, you're really good at that. It always makes me giggle. If somebody says, oh, you're really good at that. And the answer is, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm the same. And then they look at you like, oh, she just owned that. Yeah, because I agree with you. Yeah.
Yep.
I think those sayings, don't be too big for your boots. That's another one. I remember the sayings. I don't remember the reasons or the scenarios I got told it. Like I remember the sayings of being told that, but I don't recall because this will happen to you or
right.
Or an actual scenario or an event that happened that I was too big for my boots. I don't remember that sort of stuff.
Right.
And I think that's important to remember those things just as much, which is interesting because it just means I only listened to half of it and I've captured onto the negativity.
See, Deb's dogs are celebrating them. They have no compunction about not celebrating who they are.
I don't even know what he's doing. We're actually on camera. And he's now just running round and round in circles. Yeah.
What better way to celebrate who he is?
And I think as children, and I'm going to say children and animals, they're prime examples. Like children just live. They just live life until we filter our morals.
Until something like that happens. So for me, I can think of things about don't get too big for your boots, you were saying, or but that would come from a place of, I can think of scenarios where my dad might say that, where I'll say, hey, I'm really good at doing such and such. I'm really good at making macaroni and cheese or something, which actually I was.
Yeah. Yum.
Or I'm really good at helping people understand their problem, or I was always but there is a thing, like an understood thing that was bragging or, talking yourself up. And so therefore you're supposed to be humble. Well, I think humility is a good thing too, but it's also about being honest. It's like, well, if you're good at it, like you were saying, you own it.
And there's different levels of humble.
Mm-hmm.
There's like if someone, you saying you're good at macaroni and cheese, that's still being humble, but it's actually just acknowledging something. It's not just going, yeah, but I'm so much better than so-and-so.
Yeah.
So there's still that, I am good at this. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm better than my mum or that Gordon Ramsay, I couldn't even think of Jamie Oliver, I couldn't even think of a famous chef then. I'm not saying I'm better than them. So you're still humble.
Yeah.
You're not taking yourself down and out into a negativity.
That's a really good point. Because when you're claiming your zone of genius, for want of a better word, you're not saying this is my zone of genius and I am beyond everybody else. It's not about comparing, right? It's about I know I'm good at this and I'm proud of myself. So this is the whole point that we're talking about today, is inspiring you to celebrate you, so that we get,
it is.
Yeah. So we celebrate, like, yes, this is an accomplishment. And actually, funny story, I said that was something when I was a kid living at home with my family still. But if you ask my husband, he would tell you that I'm really good at making macaroni and cheese too. Just PS, that was like a sidebar to that one.
There's nothing wrong with I love macaroni and cheese. Oh my God. Yeah, I can do that. I think when I go back, I look at school and I go back to the scenarios at school where we get our certificates and someone else got a certificate and you didn't get one.
Right. Yes.
And then they say to us, be nice to so-and-so because they got a certificate. Well, I don't want to be nice to them because they got a certificate and I wanted that certificate. And I've seen, they may have cheated or something, so there's different levels of, and that's another, I'm going to say, a parent telling you morals and ethics, go shake their hand. I don't want to shake their hand,
Right.
Don't be a poor loser, all this. Yeah, well, I'd rather be a poor loser than be them, no. And all that crap comes out. So that's the other side of inspiring you to celebrate you, is how do you handle those who have evolved and you're still stuck, or they took the award that you didn't get. In fact, that's a whole new podcast. That's, but you can see what I mean is why do we have to acknowledge that they're wonderful when I wanted the award?
Well, how can we not reframe that a little bit and say, congratulations to them, and not make it that I'm a sore loser because I didn't get the thing that I wanted to get that too. But if I really soften into this idea of celebrating me, then, and I didn't get the award or I didn't get the certificate, then it's more about leaning into, it wasn't meant to be for me. Maybe I need to work on it a little bit longer, or maybe my heart wasn't completely in it as much as the other person that did get it. So I can acknowledge they did it and I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's not a comparing thing, right? It's not saying, well, they're better than I am because they got it and I didn't. It's to then say, no, wait a minute, I created this. So what can I celebrate? And what's the gift in this for me right now? Right?
And the key to what you said is, what's the gift in this?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, if you can ask yourself that question and get an answer, or even just asking yourself a question, even if you can't get an answer, it's already started that transition of seeking and looking for bigger and better things. I'm not going to say bigger and better things. Resolution
Yes.
would be into what's actually going on. And I think, I was at the hairdresser recently, and the lady was saying that when her children, everyone gets a certificate when they play sport now, and there's no winner, loser, And I said, oh, okay. And I was like, don't get into this conversation. Said, oh, okay. And I said, oh, how old are your children? And she said, he's 7 and he needs to know when he's winning and when he's losing. And I'm like, oh my God, don't get into this conversation. Don't. And I was like, And I was trying not to get into the conversation. And anybody who knows me is going, oh, Deborah, they're waiting.
Yep.
Yeah, no. And I was sitting, even with my hands underneath my legs just to sit and rock a little bit as she, and it wasn't my hairdresser, it was the other hairdresser. But there's so much that has changed from, and I'm not getting into the conversation just for the record, but there's so much that has changed from back when we were young, from when you were young, from when I was young.
Yeah.
And, we're in different countries. So even, everything, there's so many different things that are going on now that we are tender to.
Yes.
And I think, you know, if we can celebrate any win, and
Yes.
I think life is a win.
Yeah.
And not just, yes, I got the try, or yes, I got the goal, or yes, I got to put the uniform on and I didn't get to play, but you know, whatever. It's all a win.
I showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a win. There's a way to celebrate everything if we are, I'm not going to use the word humble, if we're open to it.
Open to it and being authentic to what we like. Right. I can think of times like you're talking about sport. I can remember I wasn't a very sporty person at school. I have these gangly long legs that are out of proportion to the rest of my body. There were some sports.
And they never worked with the top half.
That's right. No, there were some sports that I was actually really good at, but competitive, I don't like competition. Because it can get like you say, back when you and I were of that age. Well, I'm older than you, but
not by much. I don't think.
Not by much, maybe. But that competitive, it was a them and us, the winners and the people that didn't, that also ran.
And there's no prizes for second best.
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually there is.
There is, because I was. That's what I meant about I showed up, right?
And there's I could just have to say, there's before you carry on, there was I saw it on social media, and it's 3, first, second, and third. You know how the first is higher, then the second's a little bit lower, and then the third. You know, and it's got number 3 is just holding the certificate up, ecstatic, and 1 and 2 had the sternest faces.
Oh wow!
And I remember thinking, oh my God,
that's awesome.
That's number 3. If I can find it when we put this thing up, we'll make sure we get it on there. It's just like they're celebrating life.
Yeah,
they're just going, look at me, I got 3rd. Look at that. And it's just a great example of hey, look at me.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Carry on. Sorry, Moira.
No, I love that, because I was talking about when I was at school playing sports that I didn't like playing, and people would tease me because these long legs didn't cooperate, and until
you'd be a great basketballer. Yeah,
I was good at basketball, but I was even better at the hurdles. I was like a gazelle going. I remember them being brought out, and there was all of a sudden there was this big hush of like, whoa. So I wasn't fast on track, but put those hurdles on, and I was going to leap over all of them. I cleared the entire.
You did high jump too. Yeah.
Yeah, I never tried high jump, but I cleared. I didn't knock over one hurdle.
You just step over them. You just be like, oh yes.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just stepping over them. But the point being is that I then got to come into a space of I can celebrate me in that, just because, and that's where I say about the humility or being humble about I'm not a track runner, I'm not a javelin thrower, I don't have that much of an upper body strength,
but
right?
Even if you recognize that and just go, I'm not that, but I am that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that alone, I'm not that, but I am that.
Yeah.
Just
that's so much freedom there, right? Freedom. And then also, because don't you think that there is still, I mean, there was back when we were growing up, but there is still way too much comparison and competitiveness. It's just so unhealthy. And it's like, you know what, everybody, we're all here. Doesn't matter what color of skin you are, whether you're slim or fat or blonde hair or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're all here in this game. It's supposed to be a game, by the way. P.S. This is a game. Game of life.
Well, you and I talked about that, even about our rating. What rating are you? A 0 to 10?
Yes.
And then you're like, I'm a 3. And I'm like, well, I'm a 2. You're not going to beat you. But that competition is not a competition. But I mean, that's it. I don't see that as being unhealthy. That's quite fun. And we're doing it in a real lighthearted, fun way. Yeah, I don't think we've done that for a while.
No, I don't think so.
But that's how it can start, as something that's so small and significant that, listeners, let us know if you hear us at our number and go, oh, I'm not that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you've
not
got to
good enough
remember-
because I'm not that.
Yeah, we've talked for 2 hours before we've got on this podcast. So we
Yep.
if we literally started our call straight away and went straight to our our podcast,
Recording, you might get a different tone happening.
Yeah, you'd probably have a lot. But I know for me, I love that Moira injection. I love that Moira injection on a Tuesday morning. Not that keen at 7 a.m. in the morning, especially when I'm home alone. And Moira, it's afternoon on a Monday for her.
Yep, Monday afternoon here.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
I don't know how this has worked because winter it's 7 a.m. Summer it's 9 a.m. I'm like, yeah, of course, my office is stifling hot at 9 a.m. But in summer, but if you do compare yourselves to our numbers, let us know if that's something that does come about. Because if
Really?
it does, I just want to remind people that we have talked and we've dissolved a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And sometimes even we don't even do strategies. We just, this is what's happened, this is what's happened, this is what's happened. And the other one will laugh. I forever laugh at Moira. No, she laughs back at me.
I laugh back at her.
And then
No,
we
but it
carry
is.
on.
It's just being each other's sounding board, and that's because sometimes that is what we need, right? Is just to just have somebody hold space while we ruminate or work through what's going on.
Yeah.
What kind of chaos? What kind of situation? That's it.
And that's part of inspiring you to celebrate you. That's part
Absolutely.
of what we do.
Mhm.
I know when I get on that call Tuesday morning, whatever's chaotic is, that's something I do that inspires me and is going to celebrate me of who I am.
Yeah.
And I know if Moira ever brings a challenge to the table, I can help her with that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know if that's something that people do get compare themselves to our numbers, because that's just don't.
You don't do that. But the other thing too is, and I'm thinking about, we're talking about inspiring you to celebrate you. I don't think it's done enough. Like we say, we keep doing this comparative stuff. I've been avoiding looking at Facebook for quite some time, just because I don't want to see somebody talking badly about something else, or somebody saying that
social media is a level on its own, for goodness sake.
Absolutely
you've
is.
got to be in the right space to do social media. Don't go, I've got 10 minutes spare.
Yeah.
And I've got 10 minutes spare and I'll do social media, because the moment you unravel in there, that can change you. That can take you from a 0 to a 10.
Absolutely it can. And that's why I'm saying is that celebrating you is within your bubble. Remember we've talked about this before, right? The envisaging yourself in your own snow globe. And you don't allow stuff that doesn't resonate with you, stuff that's maybe against your belief system, or that makes you feel upset, or makes you feel like you're
that's like turning off the news on the TV.
Yeah.
The moment you see something that you don't want to see or hear, don't go, oh, I'll keep reading.
Exactly.
Get out. Don't go, oh, I'm in now, I might as well keep reading. No.
Yeah. If I keep reading, it'll get better.
Yeah, no.
No.
There's not that last sentence in that article is not always a good a good uplifting part, And
the other thing I just thought of, Deb, is that the other piece in this about celebrating each one of us, celebrating you, means listen to you. And I reference what you've shared before in previous episodes. I think you may have talked about this in our last episode, about being really in touch with the intelligence of your body.
I love my body.
When you celebrate you and you get an intuitive hit of my body needs to eat X, or my body doesn't need to eat X, right?
XYZ.
XYZ. When you celebrate you, you don't have to go into a story about it, and you wouldn't push through, right? If you like, this is funny because for me, I have some pretty hefty food sensitivities. So pork products is one of them. I don't eat any pork or bacon, and my husband loves bacon. So every so often, this is funny because every so often I'll go upstairs into the kitchen and there's bacon wafting everywhere, and my stomach immediately goes, no way.
You can't hide the smell of bacon either.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Actually, there's certain times that it's okay. I don't mind it. And then there's other times that just really my stomach goes like, don't you even dare think that that's getting us. And it's like, no, it's okay, dear body.
Well, I would put bacon in my macaroni cheese, just for the record.
Oh, I'm sure he would like that too. Yeah. But it's the wisdom of our body. Our bodies do provide amazing guidance, right? So, but what I'm saying to you is that if I was reacting like that and then I went and did it anyway, that ain't no celebration of me, right? That's what I was thinking, that when I was like, oh, I'll just keep doing it and it'll get easier. No, it won't.
If only. I think, yeah, and I think once you recognize these things, and it's whether, I know I must have had this right along, but it's only since I've started slowing down, and I'm going to say slowing down, and I'm going to say be more present, because I didn't know what present was. Someone said, oh, get present. I'm like, hey, I'm listening to you. What are you talking about? But now knowing present is listening, but being aware of what's your body doing, what's your mind doing, are you fully present, what is fully present, like meditation. When someone took me to a meditation many years ago and they said, oh, shut your mind down, I'm like, why? I've got like groceries to do, there's a need to hurry up, I've got things to do, like, how do you shut your mind down? Like, you're just being ridiculous, this is unrealistic, how can you shut your mind down? But all that stuff, but just being present, just being present with yourself, hand on your heart, that's you celebrating you, because you are honoring you. You're honoring your soul. You're honoring your next step, your last step, everything. And I think if we did that more, and we really said no to things that didn't work for us, like we say no, get rid of the friends. We say that, but how often do we do that?
Do you actually do it? Yeah. Recently
I went through my Instagram and I unfollowed quite a few people. I said, oh, I don't see you anymore. I don't see you anymore. And I went on there and I went, no. And I mean, there's probably about 15 people. And I just went, oh my God, I feel great. And just even that, just went, yeah, I'm celebrating you. Now, I didn't see this stuff pop up on my Instagram. And so it wasn't bothering me. But I just went, no, I haven't seen you for a long time. I've gone and I've missed all these posts. So it's fine.
So
and I just felt so much better, just because I celebrated me. I took what's important to me, not them. Now, some of those people are on my Facebook page, some of them are friends. It's still okay. Like, it's okay.
But it's celebrating,
pissy that I'm unfollowing them on Instagram. Well, there's clearly a problem already.
But then that's about them, not you. Because in you celebrating you, if it doesn't resonate for you, then it doesn't resonate for you. That's it.
Yeah.
And in celebrating you, it's like you put the stake in the ground and say, this is it, this is me, because I'm awesome, right? Yeah. I'm awesome, and I know me, because that's the other really big piece in this celebrating us, is that we know our quirks and our foibles and our gifts and our not so gifts, right? But I just wanted to go back to, I mentioned before about that I use human design in helping people see who they are and how they're wired and how they operate in this life. There are different, so we were talking about listening to the guidance of your body to use as your GPS.
Yeah.
There are a number of different they're called inner authorities. In human design, they call them inner authorities. It's what is your decision-making engine, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that not one being on this planet is designed to make decisions from their mind?
Oh.
Not one.
That's me. Oh.
Which then makes it even more important
Wow.
to listen to your intuition, to listen
Did
to your
everybody
heart,
hear
to
that?
listen.
We're all screwed then, because we just go, your mind makes the decisions.
Yeah, I know, we're conditioned that way.
Wow.
And it's kind of not true. Our mind has like a
Oh.
filtering piece. We
Yeah.
can filter ideas, but the actual decision-making engine is not your mind. And yet in the Western world in particular, we have been conditioned that way, that, you know, set a goal and go for it.
Well, I do use my body. If I set a, you know, I'm somebody who will set a goal, and even if I'm on the journey to set it for that goal and it doesn't feel right, I'll shift the goalpost.
Right.
I'm definitely one who does that if it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Oh, your things look like the Olympic rings. I just got distraction from your
No.
rings behind you.
They're chakras. It's the chakras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's like the Olympic colours. Distraction. Yeah, I am somebody who just diverts, who just changes direction.
There's a shiny thing over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just went, oh, Olympic rings. And you have to watch Moira's videos to see the Olympic rings.
It's
chakras.
You're funny.
So I am somebody who will shift my goalposts, because if my body says no, and I might be 90% towards running that workshop or something, and it just goes no, or I've got somebody who wants to come in and join, and I'm like, no, you know, I just shut it down.
That's a really good point, you know, because I have been saying this to some of my clients, is that you want to check into your own way of making decisions, whatever tool that is, your body, your sacral, your gut feeling, your heart.
Yeah.
It's all different pieces of that. But you want to find the hell yes. And if you don't get the hell yes, I'm going to do it, it's a no. That's it.
Well, you go to any stylist, clothing stylist, and they say, put this on, and you're like, nah. And you're like, there's no way. And if you don't put that, if you put that jacket on or dress or whatever, you put that on and you don't go, oh my God, yes.
Exactly.
Don't get it.
Yep. That's the hell yes. Absolutely.
That's exactly it. But because you know when you put your favorite pair of undies on, hell yes. Or you know when you spray yourself with perfume, this is me, you know when you put that, whatever it is, and you go yes. But if you're not getting that, don't do it. And
That's
I totally agree. And if the clothing analogy helps people, that's it. But don't just, when COVID hit, there was so many people offering free programs and do this and do this, and people would saying, oh my God, I've got this program and now they're offering this extra thing. Do I do it? Should I do it? And I'm like, why don't you just do the free program first and see if you actually sign up and you turn up and you do what they say. Give it 3 weeks, because they're going to offer you something at the end of the program anyway. Like they're going to offer you pretty much probably the same deal. And 99% of those people were like, oh, I never did it. Oh, I'd go back to them in 2, 3. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't do it. Didn't do that. Because it didn't. They were just like, oh my God, here's a free offer.
It was the freebies. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sign up. I mean, I'm the same. I'll sign up to something.
Me too.
And then I'll just next thing,
yeah, no, I don't have time for
3
that.
months later, I have to unsubscribe because they're sending me 3 emails a day and I still haven't even opened the very first welcome to the community thing. And I think that's that hell yes again. Like, unless you've been researching that company, want to do that program, and then suddenly they've offered it for free, there's a hell yes. When it's a hell yes.
Absolutely, you do. And because, I'm not so much a tune into my body, but I am for the hell yes and hell no.
Yeah.
Because the yeses, that to me, and I really encourage our listeners to try this too. the exercise that you do is you just go into your awareness and tune into your awareness, and you think of a time where you made the decision and it was epic. Like the way it went was just incredible. And just see if you can imagine what that was like. Feel into it, bring it into your awareness, and then check with your body. How's your body feeling? And then recognize. So for me, that's a lift. It feels like there's a little lift in my shoulders, like a little boost of energy. And then you do the same thing with when you did something and it all completely went chaotic, crazy making. Don't stay in that visualization too long. Just remember it, feel it, and then come into your body and see what does your body feel like. And so for me, I can sometimes feel like there's a little weight, either pushing down on my shoulders or just a little sort of ugh feeling in my gut. That's a no. And so now that I know that, when you're saying about these freebies, was it a yes in my body or a no? So I've stopped signing up for freebies just based on that.
Oh yeah, I can't. Well, I've unsubscribed from so many that I've just gone, no more, Deborah.
Yeah, you're not going to go through that again.
You tell people not to do this, and yet you're doing it yourself. Pull your head in. There's Deborah's self-talk. But but even with that stuff, it's whether it's a hell yes or a no. And today may be a hell yes, and tomorrow may be a no. Yeah. Then listen, and so, but don't just go, okay, I'm not doing it for the no. Go, why? What's really going on? Right? Is it too hard for me? Is it somebody else is in the class that I don't like? What is it? Get a feel of actually what it is, because I don't want people running from stuff. I want them to go, okay, what is it?
Face it for sure.
Yeah. And I think once you face it, once you see it, you can then decide what to do. I listen to my body. That's it. But like I just said, but I think the key here is also remembering you can change your mind. And that's something that
so important. Yeah.
There's a word that comes into play, and I'm going to say the word obligation. And obligation, I don't want to upset them, because they've talked about having 10 people in the program and I'm their 10th person and how exciting that is, and and I feel obligated to stay there, or because I won a scholarship, they've given me this extra one. Yeah, no. That obligation is going to destroy you, and you're going to go down from a 0 to a 10.
It's a really good point, because if you do start getting into that obligation type of dialogue, it really is important to look at, what do I choose? Because if I get really clear on something that it's okay, I still choose to do this, but it has to be my choice. It's not I have to do this because I said I was going to do it and I don't break my word, right? But it's right, in celebrating you, sometimes it is right to say yes, and then the next day you check in with your energy and it's a clear no. You got to honor that, right? It's like, no.
Yeah, I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. We already know the answer.
Yes, we do.
And then we just go round and round and round and round,
circling the drain.
Nothing gets done. But if we actually go, okay, this is the issue, this is where we're at, what's really going on, and we can unping it, phenomenal results will come from that.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful way to wrap up this conversation, is to focus on the realization that phenomenal results will happen when you celebrate you. So we hope that this conversation has inspired you to kind of look at, where do you celebrate? How do you celebrate? Can you do it more? Can you acknowledge that you are auspicious, amazing, gifted being of light, here to share it with the rest of the world?
Yes. What are we?
What are we? So before we wrap, sorry, you're going to
I love today. I just
Me
want to say
too.
I love today. Yeah.
Me too. This has been, I love this whole dance that we just did, but I wanted to check back in, because we're going to do our little check-in on our rating 0 to 10. So to begin with, I was at a 0, and I believe Deb was at a 1 because of her puppies. But her puppies are all zenned out.
One's lying in front of the heat pump, and the other one's in his little travel crate. So that means the older one is having a break. So that made him go from probably a 10 to a 0, and the little one's sleeping, so he must be at a 0. I'm definitely at a 0.
That's
I'm
awesome.
definitely, and I just feel like I'm wrapped in a little love blanket. You know how they say those weighted blankets, and they're like great for anxiety and everything.
I love them.
Yeah. So I just feel like I've got my little weighted blanket on me, and I'm just wrapped in a lovely little love bubble. So I'm definitely a 0.
Cocooned in a love bubble at 0. That's a beautiful way to wrap up our episode. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, listeners. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you with how do you celebrate you? And did we help you embrace that a little bit more for your own self? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, listeners. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.